I'm here with my co host, Rob Glasser. He's also my son. Welcome to Minding Your Mental Health. We talk about mental health, teach the importance of inclusion, and share why we should be kind. We hope to see you each week as we talk about those topics that shape mental health today. So, whether you're here live or on replay, let us know where you are tuning in from. So, our topic today is about the benefits of a healthy morning routine. So, Rob, good morning.
Yes, at 12:30 in the afternoon. Yeah, good morning to you as well. So as you know, and anybody who knows me, routine is what I do. I got a routine for the day, and I got to say, routines are the best. And
Agreed.
if you are a YouTuber, you will know that many people are sharing their morning, their daytime, their routines. So what is a morning routine? So a morning routine to me, and I'm giving you my definition here, is what you do to get prepared for your day, so to speak. It could be little things, it could be big things. And you'll come to find that when we share our routines, that some things we do are pretty normal. Almost everybody does them. And then we have some things that might be more specific to each of us.
Right.
Now, interesting enough, I actually read this morning. This is a pretty old idea. And I just told you this earlier. The first known description of one comes from the 1700s. And
Wow.
would anybody out there care to guess who it's from? I mean, it's kind of funny.
No idea.
Uh, but it is from the man we know as Benjamin Franklin. You know, that guy, that famous guy in the government. So not only did he invent lightning, I'm just kidding. So the first person to have a diary, so to speak, was him. And the article I pulled from Inc.com says that while we might expect a litany of exercise and activities, Franklin instead gives us little more than an airy glee. He basically wrote, he'd rise, he'd wash, and he'd address powerful goodness. From there, he moved on to urgent business, scoping out the day, and at some point in time, he grabbed some breakfast, maybe a granola bar. I don't know what they ate back then, but who knows? So that's kind of funny to think because we're going to see and maybe learn that it's not so different today from the
Right.
1700s. Now, I mentioned a minute ago that I'm a big fan of watching the YouTubers who do this. And some of the things that we do now came from some routines that that I looked up. So I don't know if you're ready. Do you want to go into our routines?
Sure. You want to go first?
All
Or
right,
you
cool.
want okay, go.
So my morning routine, fairly simple. So it's from rise to about 10 a.m. Yes, I know I start late, but that's when I work. So first thing I do is I make the bed. Doesn't have to be fancy, doesn't have to be perfect. Just fluff the covers, move the pillows.
There's a lot of talk out there that just making your bed in the morning, if you just do that, that sets up your day for success.
Yeah,
Interesting.
we talked about on the meditation video,
Yep.
the monk that we went over. One of his things is you make your bed.
Right.
Just do it. All right. So afterwards, I grab after doing that, go in the bathroom really quick, do a quick wash to wake me up, and then it's right out to our exercise. So this is one of the brand new ones that we've done. We haven't done this before. We've actually been doing it for actually almost a month now. On the 15th, it'll be exactly a month. So that's kind of cool. And we pick a aerobic or a somewhat high intensity. Now, I know it's early in the morning. You can only do so much with your body. But they say that if you do something like aerobics, you get your brain pumping, your heart, all that, or your brain working, your heart
Right.
pumping. I did that last time too. So I think you have the name of the person. We watch a girl, Yana Fit. She has a slew of short videos, like 8-minute videos that are perfect for us because
Right.
my wife does start earlier than I do. And then she has some videos that are 20, 30 minutes. So let's say in the afternoon you want to pick me up. She has 30-minute videos, and all it is are very easy exercise routines.
Oh,
After we do that, go back to the bathroom, do my actual wake up, brush your teeth, comb your hair, all that good stuff. Things that most people already do because you kind of got to look when you're on camera
right.
presentable,
Right.
right? Get dressed, do all that, make myself look good, do that. From there, we go downstairs, eat breakfast, but we're doing it without technology now. Now, she has to have her phone on because her company is different areas, so there's always somebody
Right.
sending a message. But when it comes to TV or random texting, we keep the phones, the TV off, and
Right.
just eat. We don't necessarily talk. Sometimes we do, but it's nice to just kind of sit, eat your breakfast, enjoy the moment, and not have much else
Right.
going on. And that's fairly new as well. We used to go down there, and you know me, I'm a TV person. I turn the TV on, I have to watch. I'm like, you know what? I don't think I need to now. I think I'm just going to sit, eat my cereal, whatever, and go. From there, that's when I pop on the phone or the computer and do my research for the day. So whether it's prepping for my videos, whether it's grabbing a new topic for a video, or whether it's seeing what people are talking about in my niche, whether it's fandom, whether it's mental health, everything in between. And I
Hmm.
spend a little bit of time doing that. I then go upstairs with my wife. We do our first of two meditations, our morning meditation, and that could be anything from the Calm app like you do, Insight Timer, kind of whatever we find on YouTube as well. So not only do we use her for exercise, but we'll use YouTube for finding a good meditation channel. And then from there, it's about time to start my first video. So I am fresh and ready to go.
So, how long have you been doing a morning routine? When did you start doing a morning routine?
Full on, probably mid August, really making me do it. There are things I did, obviously, the brushing teeth, the stuff like that, that just you do regularly. But I wouldn't count that as a good habit routine, whatever you. I would say it's been, like I said, I think September 15th will be about a month when we've done the stuff.
Hmm.
And I got to say, even just in the first 2 weeks of doing it, so if you, the first week after doing it in August, I was like, I feel good.
Yeah, you
This
can
is,
feel the difference, right?
you,
Yeah, it's kind of interesting about having morning routines. I've been doing my morning routine since 2014, and it has
okay,
changed and evolved. But it started with uh, a book by the name of The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. It's been written in 37 languages around the world. Wow. And multiple different versions of this book, like the Miracle Morning for teachers, the Miracle Morning for real estate brokers. But in my case, it's just the Miracle Morning. What I like about it is the structure. But even within the structure, Rob, I've changed that as the years have gone on. So he
right,
does something called SAVERS. It's an acronym. I'm going to put the thing up so you can see it as I'm talking about it. SAVERS is an acronym. So the first thing that I used to do, I don't do this anymore as my first thing, but is your silence, and that would be meditation. In my world, it would be meditation. So I tend to go have a glass of water, take my vitamins, and do all that, and then I sit down and I do my meditation. And I do lots of different meditations. I use the Calm app. I use Insight. I don't use YouTube because I close my eyes and I always want to look at the YouTube. It's a visual thing. So I tend to do the audio, or sometimes I'll just put music on and just meditate. So that's the first thing that I do. The second letter is affirmations. Things like I am grateful, I am
okay,
blessed, I am superwoman, I am. And the reason why I do I ams, there's a reason. There's actually a theory around the words I am, that you don't say I want to be. You say I am, because our minds think in the present. And so if you say I am, you are. You literally, I am grateful in this moment. And so I encourage people that when you're doing affirmations, do it in the present tense. So if you're doing an affirmation that I am a good coach, instead of saying, I want to be a good coach, you're saying, I am a good coach. Put it in the present tense. So first I have meditation and then the affirmations. And the affirmations lead right into visualization. Why? Because if I'm saying I'm grateful, I can literally close my eyes and visualize what I'm grateful for, or the people I'm grateful for, or if I'm whatever that is. So it kind of goes hand in hand, affirmations and visualizations. Then exercise. So in my case, I walk the dog. I take the dog for a walk every morning, whether I want to or not, whether I want to get out, because as we all know, you and I are always talking about how hot it is here, but I'll get up in the morning. I'll do everything, and then I'll take the dog. And Christopher, my puppy knows that we're going every day. And if I'm sitting there not going, what is he doing? He's like on me wanting to go. So I do my exercise. And then the next thing I do is read. I like to read every morning, like 10 pages. It's not too much, it's not too little. I read 10 pages. And then finally, and we were laughing about this earlier, the S is for scribing. I guess they couldn't come up with a word that meant journaling or writing a letter. So scribing in this case is journaling. So I did mention in the beginning that my morning routine has changed rapidly.
Right.
And I would say that in the last year or so, I get up at 4 in the morning. That's my thing. I get up at 4 in the morning, and I do this at 4 in the morning. I sit down, after my water and whatever, I will put my Bose headphones on so it blocks all the noise. I will meditate. I will journal. I will then walk the dog. I will then come back. I will do my reading. So it's not in the same order, but it all
Well, it's
goes.
funny you say about the changing because one thing that I always like to do is see what I can implement along with what I'm doing. Obviously, not overdoing it, but one thing that's important is seeing what else you can do because, as I
Yeah,
mentioned, you learn about what other people are doing, whether it's maybe a supplement. There's one person who did a routine that changed their gut and managed their gut health, and while part of it was vitamins, a lot of it was actually exercises you do to help your gut. Some of it was, obviously you're changing diet. So I like how you said the changing or the change because me, I don't, I don't want the same thing every day. So while I do have my regular thing, once in a
right.
while it might be fun to add something. So maybe I will start a journal once in a while, or maybe I will do a little reading. I got to see what works for the time frame I
Right.
have. And then, as
That's
I mentioned
important.
at the beginning, my entire day is the routine. So let's say it doesn't go into the morning, maybe I'll throw it in somewhere else. So you don't have to necessarily get rid of it. You can, and I think we say multiple times, work around you and see what you
You
like.
do
And
you. Yeah,
yeah,
you do
exactly.
you.
And if you don't like it, don't do it. Do
Yeah.
something else.
Yeah, and it's all about the habits. And actually, the subtitle for the Miracle Morning is the 6 habits that will transform your life before 8 a.m. One of the challenges that I heard about people when they were looking at this is like, how am I supposed to wake up at 4? I don't wake up at 4 or 6 or 5 or whatever. And that is a challenge. So I'm going to challenge you, Rob, actually. I'm going to challenge you. You can accept it or not, but maybe start your morning a little bit early and see what happens when you do that for a few days. Just a thought, just a thought.
I would be okay, not so much her, but I'd be okay doing that. But yeah, no, it does make a difference, even if it is, now we're doing it around, let's say 6:45.
Right.
That's still a difference from what it was before. Usually it was 8.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
exactly, exactly. And I think the message that both Rob and I want to get out to all of you who are watching, and by the way, we're talking about healthy morning routines. Now, our morning routines may be at lunchtime, it might be at dinner time, whenever your routines are. We happen to do them in the morning. We'd love to hear what your routines are. If you have a morning routine, put it into the chat. We'd love to see it. And if you're on live, let us know. I'll pop it up on the screen so that we can see your what you do, actually, what you do. But the message that Rob and I have is that we all can create what works for us. Neither one of us are saying take notes right now and you need to go get this book and you need to do this first and do this, and that's not what we're saying. What we're saying is that it is healthy to have a routine of habits that you do. Why is it healthy? It's healthy for our emotional health, right?
yeah, and actually in the order that I wrote it down, helping emotional and then helping physical, because if your brain is good, the rest of you is good.
Exactly.
So how does it help? Well, I mean, I think we've kind of already explained how it does. If you do good, you feel good. I feel like that's a yogurt commercial somewhere. Um, but if you get in the habit of doing it, or you get in the flow, whatever word you want to use, your brain's going to go, "Hey, I can do something. I
Right.
got it." There you go. I like waking up early. The alarm is early enough. Or
Rob likes to.
I'd be happy waking up earlier, but that's
But
that's a different conversation.
but Rob, that's important because if you have a partner, significant other, or that special someone that doesn't kind of meld with your routine, that's okay. Really, that's okay. They'll
No,
figure it
yeah,
out. They'll figure it out. You do you.
exactly. Yeah. but I'm very, I'm very happy to have her do it with me. We do the exercise in the morning together. We do the afternoon exercise together. We meditate together. So it is nice having a addition,
Right.
somebody, especially somebody special, to do it with you because it makes you want to do that much more.
Right. Exactly.
And that goes also to the emotional too, because when you have a good reason to do it, when you have a good bond to do it,
Right.
your brain is like, hey, this isn't so hard. This isn't bad. This is fun. Let's do it. And if that's the case, then why won't your body feel good too?
Right.
If your brain is happy, your heart, your lungs, your liver, your all your organs, whatever. That's too many.
Right. Right.
Um, and yeah, there are things like the exercise that help you physically, but it also, it's not just the physical; it's the internal. How it makes you tick.
Well, endorphins. They're called endorphins.
Endorphins. Thank you.
Right?
Yes.
So when you exercise, if you are stressed and you decide, I'm going to go out and I'm going to exercise, you hear that all the time for my mental health. Get out there and exercise for your mental health.
Right.
Why? The endorphins kick in, and all of a sudden, whatever you were stressed about before starts to ease because the endorphins kick in. I think that's how their correlation, right? That's how they connect in some ways.
Yeah. I mean, it's yeah. That's exactly how it goes. If all parts of your body need to be at one to do its job, so if half of the body's not up to its thing, the rest of you is going to be a little. Eh. So, in order to have your body doing what it's supposed to, you got
Right.
to make sure all its parts are working. It's like a car. You can't have a car with half the parts working. You got to make sure everything's running.
Good.
So, you get it checked up. It's a word, but you know what I mean. You get it checked up. You make sure everything's going. The gears are turning, and that's how you know that it runs.
And you and I have similar things. Even though we don't do the same exact things, they are very similar. We exercise, we
Right.
meditate, we might listen to, maybe I read, maybe you don't read, but we have similar things. And I think that, again, you do you, but you would, my suggestion is that for all of you who are watching and you've never done a morning routine, if any of the things, any one thing sounds interesting, start with one thing. Your morning
Yeah.
routine can be one habit, and that morning routine can be, I get out of bed and I make my bed. That might be your morning routine. Start with something small. There is nobody that's saying you have to jump in and all of a sudden be a master meditator or a master journaler, or, you're, that's not it. And I think that that's a really important message that we have for all of you who are listening, is that you figured out what works for you and then build
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
So we want to make sure that as this is a show about mental health, and we want to make sure that if you are listening and you need some support, there are a couple of websites out there that you can check out: nimh.nih.gov. You can also check out NAMI. And finally, the 988 number, that is relatively new. You can call in, they can route you to anywhere that you are. If you're having some mental health issues, you are not doing well, call the number. It's also good for veterans. You can use that as well, as Rob told us a while back. Let's make sure you know how to follow Rob. You can follow him on his website at Alter Universe Live. You can follow him on LinkedIn at Rob Glasser. He's also known as Altered Universe on YouTube, which has really great videos, as well as on Twitter at Altered Universe without an E and a 1. And I'm on Caren Glasser everything. Any last minute thoughts, Rob, about the importance of having these morning routines?
Yeah, I would just say, when you start out, I think when I was doing my research, it's the mindset.
Right,
Doing the activity is not going to change your viewpoint.
right,
You put yourself in that mindset. So while you're doing these things, appreciate them, enjoy them, think about them. So really, the importance of a routine is not necessarily just the routine, but you got to get your mind in the right spot
right.
to keep it going.
And I bet if you track this, not you, Rob, but people who track this, when you do this, like you said, you've been doing this since August, get yourself a little journal with lines and start just each day that you do something, check it off, so that you can remember that you did it, number one, and number
Yeah.
two, feel proud about it, that you've done it. So just start. So our message is just start minding your mental health by creating a healthy morning set of habits. As always, we're thrilled you joined us today, whether you were live or on replay. Go out, give somebody an awesome day, and we'll see you next week on the next. Oh, you know what? Before we say goodbye, we have a special Minding Your Mental Health next week. We have a special guest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we are inviting on Rob's brother, my son. The three of us, we're talking about photography, and it helps in your health, your mental health. And Matthew is an amazing photographer. So stay tuned. Join us next week. Go out, give somebody an awesome day, and we will see you next time. Goodbye, everyone.